final word.
There it is.
The final.
We're live.
Whoa. That's me. That's me. My bad.
I said, what? Oh.
Yeah, that was me, man. That's me doing too much.
I thought they'd coming, man. The Illuminati all over my body.
Nah.
And here it is.
That was me.
The
Tripping.
final word.
Tripping, man. All right. So we got the final word with the homie Ron. What's up, man? Ron, what's up, boy?
How y'all feeling, man?
Good, bro.
Wrong.
I like what Stephen Jones was talking about earlier, for one.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of that. We gonna talk about all them clips, big dog.
I'm just not used to liking what Stephen Jones talking about.
Oh man,
What?
you got me curious
Get
now. So yeah, I can't wait to hear which part because I got the whole interview. So we gonna break it up though. We gonna break it up. Break it up.
I made sure that I didn't
brother,
listen to it all the way. Yeah, I want to have virgin ears to it.
There you go.
Oh, see, I was cheating on the test, Lord, my fault.
It's all good.
If you ain't cheating, you know what they say. You ain't trying. You know. Yeah, man. I'm excited to have my boy Rome in the building, man. We got Big back. Big, we've been missing you too, bro. For real.
Yeah, man.
The final word.
We've been missing you, man.
Yes, indeed.
Since Big don't pull no punches, he gonna keep it funky.
That's why he the coldest.
Yo.
That's why we love Big.
The final word.
He don't pull no
Game
punches.
James.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I've been peeping the chat for the last couple of weeks. You ain't been able to make it. Boss, we're big. I'm like, hey man, this. Every now and then we all need to
Take a deep breath.
Yeah, take an exhale, bro. Real talk.
The final word.
Yeah, man. So now, man, you know, tight end kind of came back. So we gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about Steve, and we gonna talk about a lot of stuff, man. Anything else we need to freestyle about while we kind of got the beat going in the back?
Well, BPA.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. BPA.
So that draft gonna come up.
Yo.
All right.
Yeah. Wait. Stephen Jones threw out tight end early though. I was like,
I know they've been, man.
He threw it out early,
bro,
in the interview.
I feel like that's he smoke screening, man.
I
think
was
so?
thinking the same thing, cause
Man,
That's what a lot of people are saying, but I don't know, man.
yeah,
I don't know.
especially around this week. When you get to this week, them leaks be real. On this week,
listen, I tell you one thing. The Cowboys ain't went with what they've been saying in so many years. Whenever they saying it too much, it just ain't it.
yeah.
It just ain't it.
See, the person we gotta watch is Brian Broaddus. That's the dude. That's gonna leak it. Cause I knew about
Last year
Tyler
at the
Smith.
New Year's going guard.
Yeah,
with a tap.
right. Yeah, he was talking Tyler Smith early last year. They were talking LVE early. You know what I mean? So
We used to have a plug, me and Big Game James. Remember that guy that was friend of DDP? Big Game. Yeah, he told us Leighton Vander Esch 2 days before the draft happened.
I know.
We sat on it though. We sat on that information. We're like, nah, he lying.
And I was like, don't say it. He lying.
We still trying to figure out your draft plug.
He draft plug for real though. No. Big Game, no, he draft plug.
Yeah, he is a draft plug. Yeah, he the plug. Like he be having it.
No, I definitely know. Law had it last year for sure. He was picking them things like, bro, that's not guessing what you doing, bro. That's not guessing.
They was phoning, they was phoning me, then Jerry Jones.
Man, yeah. So
Jerry Jones.
So people act like this is the funny part before we kick it off. The funny part is people ain't realized yet that we truly are the new media. No, we not all we knew. We got our own sources, we got our own contacts, we got all the stuff that they got. We just ain't got no major brand, but our brand behind us until our brands are major.
No doubt.
Let's go. The tunnel, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check the song. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. Use the size off for the bag, and that's what more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so what's up, man? We got everybody in the house. Rome, man. Well, let's do this first. Big, we always kick it up with you. So we have tight end back on the menu. So, what's your thoughts on that, big dog?
Well, you already know I don't want no tight end in that first round, but you know what? Hey, I mean, at this point, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna just throw stuff or get frustrated. I don't know, man. I just feel like if you get that tight end at 26, damn, he's got to come in and play. Like he's got to come in like and play. Like he's got to be a difference maker. Not a lot of tight ends come in and really do that. And the guy that they're talking about, the Michael Mayer kid from Notre Dame. I mean, I watched him. He looks okay. But
that's it.
I mean, he's not dynamic. I mean, I'm looking at him like
he's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay, but he's not dynamic. And I'm like 26 for this guy. Wow, that's weird. But okay, if that's what y'all say. But I'm praying that you know what I've been saying comes true. That you kind of like the 2020 draft where we had CeeDee Lamb falling in our laps and we didn't think that was going to happen. I still feel right now at 26, we're going to find a player that we didn't think was going to drop that's going to be there, that's going to cause us to stay on the clock a little bit longer.
Well, I pray you right, Rome. I heard you in the back, man. What's your thoughts on the big dog?
I'm with Big, man. Michael Mayer is like cornbread. You know, just.
Wait. Oh,
now I'm from Mississippi, man. Is it hot water cornbread? It's variations of cornbread now. You know, you got to break it down. Because if it's hot water cornbread,
I was not expecting that. That boy called that boy cornbread.
I'm just saying, like, you know, ain't nothing wrong. Look, ain't nothing wrong with cornbread, but it also ain't what leads the meal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with Mayer, but he ain't nothing special about it neither.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He good. He'll be good and solid, but you know he ain't about to turn no heads. It just ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I know his little nickname is Baby Gronk, but I don't see it. I made a video that said I don't see it.
Yeah. So
now the only thing I see is he looked like a cowboy. He looked like that's all I see is he looked like what they were wanting to tight end. That's all I see.
Right.
If that was it, if it's just who looks like a Dallas Cowboy,
it looked like 82 belongs to him, right? It looked like Jerry Jones would put 82 on him, and we will find out whether it's hot water cornbread, skillet cornbread. If it's Jiffy, then we're going to hold up just a little bit and say, Jiffy, hey, what else you got? You know?
He look like Jiffy, Law.
He look like Jiffy. Oh, God. Dog.
He look like,
boy. Let me play.
He look like Jiffy, but they put some
straight Jiffy. Trying to soup it up, and it's like, man, it's still kind of bland.
Yeah, it's still bland a little bit.
I thought I was by myself on everything that y'all said. That's crazy. I thought I was the only one thinking this. Go ahead, Law.
But what I'm gonna say here is that I've seen multiple mocks now, and they got tight end with an asterisk by it or a star by it, and saying that that's where the Cowboy is going to go because we are missing Dalton Schultz. So I've seen Sam Laporta there, and I've seen Dalton Kincaid there, who got a bad back at 24 already. That's crazy. And now you're seeing Michael Mayers there. And they left out my guy. What's his name? Washington. What's his first name? Darnell. What's his name? You know, Darnell, they leave him up off the situation there, who's freakishly athletic. But I get it. I can see where the Cowboys are trying to go. But I feel that this is more of a smokescreen.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Of course.
Go ahead.
Listen, if you at 26, you need to add somebody to this team that's really going. It could change a whole room. You add. I'm being hypothetical because I'm not saying these players are going to be there. You add Bijan Robinson to our running back room, it's instantly a top 5 running back room, if not the best in the league. Instantly.
Right.
You add the right receiver to our receiving core, and it's almost uncoverable.
Right.
It's just too many options.
Right.
You add Drew Sanders to our pass rush, or Nolan Smith to our pass rush, or the right pass rusher like McDonald, and our pass rush, which is already dominant, becomes unstoppable.
Right.
You add Michael Mayer to our tight end room, it ain't like, you know what, they got the most unstoppable tight end room. It don't do none of that. So I'm like, why would you add a player that doesn't really change the dynamic? Because if you look at the distance between Mayer and Schultz, I mean, how much he better, but is it like light years better? He's not Travis Kelce, so I don't get it.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
Oh, so you've been quiet, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I think that when you reach, the game teaches, and I think that it'd be a reach for the Cowboys in this environment. I think he's Jiffy cornbread, but the kind you make with that powder evaporated milk. That's what I think. So I think that, look, he shows some signs of being a good athlete, but everybody has the Travis Kelce disease and the Zach Ertz disease. You're trying to find that next person. And I get it, right? I get it. But those guys come, very infrequently in the draft. And he's more complete than Dalton Kincaid, no doubt about it, right? But he's not a 4-wide game changer, right? He's more old school. He can put his hand in the dirt, right? He can run block adequately. He's good in the red zone. He can box out and catch the touchdown. But what you already have is his genius in Hendershot. What you already have in a building is Jake Ferguson. Why not develop those two young guys and spend this very valuable draft capital elsewhere? Because it's not a need with those two young guys, can continue to develop those guys and let them rock and roll. And I think the Cowboys will be great at tight end. That's my.
I got some on it. Cause see, one of my brothers, because I know Tuck, he loved tight ends, man, and I had no problem with it. I'm actually cool with being wrong on this. So my brother, he raised a good point. You know what I'm saying? He did. And because it's not about trying to be right, it's about getting it right. So he went back in history and he said, okay, what about these tight ends, right? So I said, okay, let me go look at them. You know what I mean? Especially because it's a contention window, because he right. We can't just say all in all that no tight ends work in the first round when there's a history of some working. My thing is this. I want to look at, can they come in now, right? Because we can't deny just all tight ends in the first, right?
So some of them dudes he got on the screen ain't no joke though.
Oh no, shit, they the truth. But see, this
you can't just throw them up there and throw Mayer in there off the humble.
But you're right. But look at this. This is year 1 for Greg. 391, 2 touchdowns.
I think I know where you're going. Okay.
Right. It's the impact. It was your point. You know what I'm saying? So if we go look at Vernon Davis, 265 year 1, 500 year 2, 3 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? It's like, to your point, the contention window. Because I don't want to be so stuck on not getting a tight end to where I'm closed-minded, but I also want to get the timing right if we do take a tight end. I don't think the timing is now. So even if I look at Dallas Clark, who we know as a dog. Look at his first couple of years: 340, 423, 488. The last tight end that came out and banged on yards was Shockey. That's the last one who really came in with 74 receptions as a rookie, 894 yards. And I don't see Shockey in Mayer. I don't. Like, Shockey was electric.
Can you go back and look at Dallas Clark resume again?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and why you do that, Boss Cow?
Shockey was different.
And why you? Shockey was different also because they featured him as a number one when he got to New York.
This is
whoever this tight end is, if you draft him, he's going to be a third at best, probably fourth option. He's not going to be your number one or number two. So for Shockey to get those 74 receptions, when he came out as a rookie, out of the U, he was the man, and he was targeted and treated like a number one to have that level of productivity. So we know that's not going to be the case for anybody that we would draft.
Yeah, what was you going to say, Law?
Yeah, but if you go and look at Dallas Clark, mm-hmm. and we know that they played in a pass-dominant offense there. And the only thing that stood out is 08 and 09. So when the tight end is on the field, it's more of an ancillary piece, but it's also a piece that you can utilize and use to allow others to eat as well. Now, what my guy was saying, the OC was saying that, he's an inline blocker. He'll be your wide tight end. He will be the guy that can take and control the middle of the field. So just like we saw the other numbers for the other tight ends, even Jake Ferguson, we know he had a spoonful of reps, but he was hurt last year. He got hurt in one of the games, right? So the Cowboys may be looking at it like, hey, I don't want to thrust Jake Ferguson out there and say that, okay, he and Peyton Hendershot will be the person for us. They want to get someone that's ironclad, that's a leader, that's been healthy, that's been in the trenches, and that's Notre Dame Michael Mayer. That may be the angle that they're going at, because even my guy Jake Ferguson, he had 19 receptions, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's all we know of him. He have lots of expectations, but there's also sophomore slumps that they got to account for, and that's why I believe that they are leaving no stone unturned.
Yeah, Big. Let me go ahead. You say something wrong?
No, I agree. I was agreeing with Law.
Yeah, Big. Let's test your sound real quick. What's your sound on?
Can you hear me?
Okay, you sound great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, yeah, because now we go turn the page to Stephen Jones. Unless y'all had anything else on that tight end, I just say, hey, this is one good thing I said about tight end, because I really meant what I said. When I said if we pick tight end at 26, I was going to break everything around me. I was going to just make a scene.
Mm-hmm.
But then, let me tell you, just sometimes it's not I don't want to be stuck in a mind state to where I'm unmovable, unflexible. It's one reason to why I sit back and be like, okay, I'm cool, right? Even Michael, right? It's his coach. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Coach Wells. Like, just think about it. Coach Wells turned Jarwin and Schultz into bona fide dogs. So if you do give him a real first round type of talent, I trust Coach Wells to be able to max it out early. Because even Schultz and Hendershot came in with a lot of swag. That was not normal. It's something about that coach that get them tight ends to play above themselves, you know? So when I came to that realization, I was like, I just, if we get a tight end, I ain't gonna break nothing. I ain't gonna also celebrate like we won a Super Bowl. I'm gonna just wait till the draft is over. And I'm gonna be content with the pick, and we go play ball. What you gonna say, OC?
So, boss, basically what you're saying is, as long as they put some honey butter on the cornbread, we straight.
Right. And some chicken. I want some chicken in that biscuit. That's it. If you put some meat in there, and London Wells is the meat to me.
Yes, indeed. So when you look at this, the OC, what is Michael's ceiling?
What is who? Say that one more time, Law.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, what is this Michael Mayer's ceiling, from your opinion, from your thoughts?
I think he could be a good, solid pro. I don't see him ever evolving to being a Zach Ertz or a Kelsey type. That's my opinion of him. I think that he will develop into a solid, reliable pro tight end. And look, the Cowboys historically draft well, so I'm going to give respect and kudos to the front in that regard.
Right.
But I am of the opinion.
Do you see Greg Olsen? Do you see Kyle Rudolph? Do you see Jason Witten? Because those are the people that
I see Kyle. I don't see Gronk. I don't see no Gronk. No way. He's not Gronk level. I think that Rudolphish is probably the best comp, in my opinion. But I think the Cowboys and this is just my humble opinion, I think they have greater needs than to go there at 26. I think they have greater needs, and we could be impacted in probably 1 or 4 positions above tight end. Offensive line being one, wide receiver being another, edge rusher being another, running back being another. I don't see it as he is a solution to help us greatly coming in his first year. I could be wrong about this, but that's just my opinion.
Elaborate, OC, real quick. I need you to elaborate.
Elaborate, and I got another part of that question, if you don't
Go
mind.
ahead.
Go ahead.
What's your question?
The other part of that question will be, where is Jake Ferguson ceiling for you?
I like Ferguson.
I think that Jake Ferguson could be a guy that is, depending upon his targets, I think that Jake Ferguson could be a guy that's, and this is a weird answer, Law, so just bear with me. I think he's right underneath Pro Bowl-ish type guy, right? I don't think he's just like a super elite game changer. I think he's one of those guys that's just about good enough to be like a Pro Bowl type guy. But if he gets hot and he gets like a bunch of targets in a year, then yeah, he could make a Pro Bowl. But I think that he's a guy that's like a notch beneath being like a Pro Bowl guy, like it would at his best in terms of what his potential is. That's my opinion of Jake Ferguson.
I think Henderson.
I do too, because Hendershot is a better receiver. Hendershot runs better routes, and to me, he's just as tough in line as Jake Ferguson. He's also a good blocker. I think Hendershot is probably the steal that the Cowboys got last year, just in terms of his upside and athletic ability. That's my opinion.
All I was saying is, didn't Kelsey give a shout out to our young tight ends?
Yep. Sure did.
I mean, look, I ain't saying he's an expert, but he kind of is an expert.
Right.
Not saying that his blessing is end all be all, but if he says, I see some good things going on with this certain player, I feel like that's something that we should at least respect. As far as like, I can see something with Ferguson. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a big deal. You know what I mean? I don't think that he has no incentive to throw that compliment out there. He didn't have to do that.
True that.
Yeah.
So it has to be some truth to it. So I would take that and be like, we might have a little something there. If you want to add some depth later in the draft, get another young tight end, I respect it. We got both our young tight ends late in the draft last year. But I don't think you should force it at 26.
Yeah.
But you know what? People still forget about Sean McEwen. Sean McEwen is still a pretty good tight end as well. You know what I'm saying? But to me, when they first got Hendershot, I said it, and I know some other people said it. I know everybody talking about the Gronk thing, but to me, I know when I first saw Hendershot, he exactly reminded me of Aaron Hernandez. As soon as I looked at him, that's who he reminded me of. How his body type, how he ran, how he played. Just how
I like Hendershot.
Everything. I like Hendershot. I think his ceiling, if we can continue to grow him too. I love Fergie.
Me too.
No doubt.
I love
I had him. I had him I mocked him.
Yeah.
But Hendershot, dog, if you can continue to really develop him, he could be that super dog that we like. Like he could be that explosive guy that we really want.
Oh, what if he put on a little weight?
I'm telling you, he nice.
Hendershot gonna be something else.
That would be something else, but I just look at it like this, and I'm not going to say what it was, but for context, if he never had that off the field issue, he could probably been drafted before Jake Ferguson, to be fair.
He'd have been gone.
Yeah, he would have been gone. But the off field issues in college kind of got him up out of there. So yeah, man, we go ahead with the program, man.
No, we good. I got one more thing in theory. I was gonna say a tight end, and we was gonna move on to something else that Stephen Jones was talking about. But I've been thinking about what Mike Marks said. And Mike Marks talked about, to me, the biggest thing he said in the interview wasn't that Dak was better than Hurts. Obviously, I agree with that, right? But the biggest thing that he said was the landscape of the NFL has created smaller linebackers. And that was to counter the Olsens, the Davises, the Wittens. You know what I mean? Because they was exploiting those mismatches, so the league adapted. And I think they were successful at eliminating tight ends for the most part, or making them not as big as a threat as what they used to be. You know, so when I really think about what he said and look at the trend of first round tight ends and you put them together, to me, that's a mix that kind of solves the mystery, in my opinion. So yeah, going to something else that Stephen Jones talked about. So we go talk about some of the stuff that he talked about on the fan, and just kind of break it down. So this first part go stand out because it gives us a clue with Tyler Smith. So here we go.
When that first day is over, he's gonna certainly have a team, and you never know.
Stephen, where is Tyler Smith going to line up this season? What's the plan there?
I think that at the end of the day, I think everybody would like to think that he's that we could keep him there at left tackle and have his progression continue, which has, by the way, been just amazing what he accomplished coming from Tulsa and being able to step in after practicing at left guard virtually all through the preseason, and then stepping in for Tyron and playing the left tackle position as a rookie at such a high level. But at the same time, I know Mike Solari, and they want the best five guys on the field, and I know here, as we start here yesterday, start to have our guys in here on a more regular basis, that certainly we'll see what that combination looks like. So you don't ever rule anything out. I do know everybody, deep down would love to think that we could continue to play Tyler there at the left tackle spot. But, at the end of the day, Tyler's going to be for that. Tyron was last year, volunteering to move over to right tackle. Certainly we got Steele, who's one of our top offensive linemen. We'll just see how that works out. I don't think we're totally committed to anything just yet, but at the same time, certainly like the thought process of him, being able to continue to grow as a left tackle.
OC, we got to kick it off with you, obviously.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that, he said the truth, right? He actually told the truth. He was honest in that regard, that, hey, we want to see the advancement of Tyler Smith at left tackle. We're going to do what's best for the team. And we don't know how things are going to shake out yet with the draft and also with the health of Tyron Smith. So we're leaving our options open. But we would love to see him stay there and develop. So I just think it was a true statement that he said. And I think he was honest in terms of his feedback. So this is a wait-and-see situation. This all will be determined on two things: what they do in the draft, and also the health and the speed of recovery with Terrence Steele. That, in my opinion, that is the decision in terms of how the Cowboys will play this out with the offensive line.
What did you get out of it, Big?
I kind of just bouncing off the OC. Basically, he's saying, way I heard it was, he did a really good job. I think the way he was saying it, like he exceeded their expectations at playing the left tackle position, but we got an influx at the offensive line. So if we draft another offensive lineman, we want to see our options. We want to see who's going to be the best five. And so I think they're going to go into training camp trying to figure that out, and they're not going to put any set things on who's going to be where. They just want to battle it out and wait till camp, and I think that's the way they want to go with it. I think the plan is they like to keep him at left tackle, but if it doesn't shake up that way, they have good versatility in him being able to play left guard. Tyron Smith played right tackle, left tackle. They got guys that can play multiple positions, and I think that's what they want to go into camp being able to do.
The way I was looking at it is this: I really like the way Stephen Jones handled that interview in general. the thing that comes to mind to me is his options. He left all his options open.
Yeah.
I know it seemed like he tipped his hand towards tight end, like we just talked about. But when he was talking about Tyler Smith and, you know, his development in tackle and that he can play both basically because of the situation we got put in, I just like that he didn't pretty much pencil in like Jerry seemed to have earlier in the offseason. Like, he's playing tackle and that's just it. I like that they kept the options open in general, and I think that's more so him. I feel like Steven is finally deferring and tipping his hat to Mike McCarthy and Mike Solari as far as just saying, hey, this is your decision. He referenced them publicly saying that they want to go best 5. And that stuck out to me because it's more so I felt like over the years, the front office don't always tip their hat to the coaching staff in the proper way. It's almost like an undermining. So to hear him tip his hat to Mike McCarthy and Solari and say, you know, they kind of want to go best 5, basically just saying we're not going to close the door to anything. If Jones is DeJuan Jones or Wright or somebody and they're the best person on the board, we're going to absolutely improve this offensive line. We're not going to just pass over a player because we're so bent on forcing Tyler Smith to play tackle, you know, and that probably goes for every other position. That's why I was saying that I really like the way he handled this interview because although it seemed like he was tipping his hat to tight end, I kind of took it as, hey, man, we'll draft Bijan. It don't matter. You know, we're open to whatever's best. When he referenced the CD Lamb falling to him, that was him saying, whatever's the best player that's going to help this team, we take it. You know, but as far as with the offensive line thing, I'm just glad that, you know, we got assets on this team, whether people want to realize it or not. I know everybody is out on Tyron Smith, but if he's healthy, he's still one of the better tackles in the league. I ain't saying he's a top 5 tackle. I'm just saying just pure experience-wise, he can play tackle. So, you know, if you're going to go best 5 and he's healthy, we can line up our offensive line right now with Tyler Smith at guard and be decent. You know.
Hey, by the way, Rome, that hat is dope. Y'all clap it up for Rome.
Yeah.
Y'all clap it up, goddamn.
All Rome hats are dope.
Hey, Rome low key got the best hats in the game.
Yeah, he hat game all the way.
I always
he has the best hats.
When I pick hats, I always try to find a hat that will stand out in a sea of stars. So we all got on Cowboy stars. I need the hat that's going to look different. So that's why you notice all my stars is kind of a little bit different because everybody, you know, if we in the sea of Cowboys fans, you just look like one big Cowboy fan. I need to be something different.
Hey, I see that one right there is getting me dizzy. I'm just it's sparkling and everything. Go ahead, Lo, on that
No
thought.
doubt, man.
I appreciate that big Dookie rope chain too.
Yeah.
He got the chain with it. The
Hey,
hoodie.
man.
The
What's that site, Shop Gold? That Shop Gold site, that's where I got my Dallas pendant from. That's where I got this from too.
Say, man, that boy got that 1980s chain, man. I'm with that.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
don't
Man
have that
is
type
rich.
of
Got the old
style
school
where they
chain.
bring out the
Crazy.
80s.
The man got his own money.
He's taking it back.
Yeah, man, that's early 2000s right there, man. That's piece and chain. You know what I mean? That's the kind of chain that is, man.
that chain. He just need a
I am
coin.
early.
Piece and
2000.
chain.
40 in 2 days.
Okay, all right.
That's
I
my
knew it
era.
was
I'm
so.
turning 40 soon.
I knew it was so. We just
All
want to
right.
give you some
Yeah.
love, big dog.
Yeah, join the club, man.
Hey, look.
Speaking of that, no, go ahead, dog.
I was just agreeing with you.
No,
He said, I'm agreeing with you.
speaking of
I'm fly. I'm agreeing. I'm fly. Yeah.
No. I'm saying
Yeah.
he said join the club, the 40 club. I'm
that,
hey, man.
40 club, man. You know, speaking of that, y'all, Tyron Smith wasn't healthy. In the last 4 years, he only allowed 4 sacks, right?
Yeah,
So that goes to show you that when he's healthy, he is good, you know.
Right.
But I like the way Stephen Jones went over all of this. But in actuality, I hated a couple of weeks ago what Coach Marv was saying, that what if, you know, Zach Martin go out, right? And talk about retiring. So that means all five spots are open for the Jones family at 26. And I think I heard you, Boss Cowboy,
Yeah.
that you said that you wouldn't mind trading up
Yeah. I
to
want
go
to.
get your piece. And can you expound upon that? I know it's off topic, but can you expound upon that? Because that's how much of a need that we have right now for offensive linemen in general. Not saying that we have to draft for needs, but it's the philosophy approach. Go ahead.
Man, I'm glad you passed that to me. Yeah, this is the first year that I've been for moving up. This is the first year. Yeah. And it's because we're in the contention window. That's the main reason I want to move up. And I've been looking at, and then the OC, I finally came around where the OC was telling us that likely we not going to get a player like a Wright if we sit there.
Darnell Wright. Yeah.
We not going to get no Darnell Wrights. So,
no way.
And I think it's not just Darnell Wright. I think we got some opportunities to go after about 4 of those tackles / guards, right? And with a contention window, I'm only thinking about pieces that's going to put us over the hump. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, I know a lot of people try to say we can wait on that. No, the quality of them top tackles is different than the second round and third round guys. Sure, we can trust Will McClay to go find that sleeper, but with it only being around 20 to 21 first round graded people, and we sitting at 26, that means that we gonna be counting on about 5 dumb decisions, and all of them can't pick tackle. So that basically tells you that you have to move up at least to 20 or 21, in my opinion, and sit there. Because if you sitting there, you got a better chance of being able to nab you a Wright, you know, or a Jones, a Broderick Jones, or something like that. That'll be a perfect plug and play. That'll take our offensive line to the next level. And to finish off what I'm saying, Lau, the other reason why I definitely want us to move up, because offensive line, it accomplishes too much. See, because a lot of people, like, I heard people say stuff like, how many, do y'all want everybody to be first rounders? Yeah. yeah. And the reason being, because where do we get our best franchise return on investment? How many gold jackets we go keep drafting when we go there and then say, I'm opposed to going there, you know? And then on top of that, we really won more away from being like a number 1 or top 2 offensive line, you know? And we know we gonna have a committee of running backs. You know, we already know that. Give those guys the best chance to be successful by being aggressive for offensive linemen. That's the main reasons I want to move up, now.
Boss.
And let me jump in and say something really quick, if it's okay. No, it's cool, Rome. I'll be quick. So, I mean, to your point, Boss Cowboy, at the end of the day, man, I'm of the persuasion the Cowboys should move up even higher than 21. I really think if you want to get a guy like Wright or Broderick Thomas, you need to get to 17, 18.
Yeah.
You need to be in that range to get those guys. Because what happens is, if you look at the pattern in the NFL and you look at the top teams that make it to the semifinals and make it to the Super Bowl, they all have really, really good offensive line. The Super Bowl championship, Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, and our NFC East, the dominant offensive line, the juggernaut offensive line, the Philadelphia Eagles, even looking at the San Francisco 49ers, okay? All right, so 2 out of the 3 teams with what I would say is the best offensive lines, they play in our conference. So if you're going to be competitive with those teams, and what made the running back by committee work on 2 out of those 3 teams, the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, was the strength of that offensive line. Now, let me stir the pot a little bit, because I want to go back to something Rome said, but also address what I see as a potential elephant in the room. What do you do if you draft, as an example, a Darnell Wright? Okay? He comes in and he is playing out of his mind. Okay? And in the first couple of weeks of the season, you get back Terrence Steele, who's also playing out of his mind. Yeah. All right, so you got Tyron Smith, right? You have Tyler Smith. You have, as an example, Darnell Wright. You have Batty-Ass. You have Zach Martin. All right? One of those, and you have Terrence Steele. One of those players are your swing. One of those players cannot start. Who's coming off the bench?
Tyron.
What was you gonna say, Rome? You say who coming off the bench?
To the OC's point, I feel like because of the relationship he got with the Joneses, and he seems to have no, like, Tyron is humble, man. He's just a team player. I feel like Tyron will come off the bench.
I don't know.
I'm not saying I agree with it, I'm just saying. You said who would? I feel like they would let Tyron. Because I saw it last year. They didn't want to move Tyler Smith so much that they made Tyron play right tackle. I'm still confused. So you know.
Nah, dog. Josh Ball was terrible, man.
Yeah.
And I get it. He was good against the run, but, you know, good with the run or what have you, but it's just Josh Ball. They didn't want Josh Ball out there.
You're right. They can put me out there. I'm better than Josh Ball right now.
Josh Ball's still growing.
Hey, I got something I want to play for y'all, since we're on this top subject real quick. We'll keep talking. Check this out.
Talk about protection a lot. And Tyron Smith coming back and just where Terrence Steele is and his return and how you envision, because you had 3 pretty good talks there, how you envision.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, and, you know, it's, you know, hey, get your, you know, your 5 most veterans on the field at the same time. I mean, that's a, you know, very fair outlook, but, you know, how you train those positions, you know, because you're definitely, you know, 17 games it's a long year, you know, and we haven't had, you know, the 5 linemen with consecutive starts, you know, in my time here. And you have to pay attention to those statistics. They're real. We've lived that the last 3 years. So with that, we need to train that way. So, you know, we're going to have position flex with some of our players. Some of our young guys need to take the next big step, and I think they definitely will. With Lasco and Ball, and so you know, I think Matt Farniak's in there every day. So these young guys need to elevate, and you know, hopefully we'll continue to add to that room too. So position flex will be important, because ideally I'd love to line up. I mean, you know, I tell you this all the time. Just you look at the statistics of an offensive line that has consecutive starts, it directly equates to winning football games. To line up. I mean, you know, I tell you this all the time. Just you look at the statistics of an offensive line that has consecutive starts, it directly equates to winning football games. I mean, you know, I tell you this all the time. Just you look at the statistics of an offensive line that has consecutive starts, it directly equates to winning football games. I mean, you know, I tell you this all the time. Just you look at the statistics of an offensive line that has consecutive starts, it directly equates to winning football games. You know, I mean, I think Philadelphia had the highest you know, 5-man start this year, if my numbers are correct. So that's important, but you know, that hasn't been the case.
That's the point that I want to focus on. That's also another reason to move up. You trying to solidify your line, because like he said, one of the biggest predictors of your wins is the team that have the most solid and committed offensive line. I'm just keeping it real, bro. Everything says be aggressive, in my opinion. And I've been thinking of you, Big. I've been thinking of you, bro. I've been really thinking about you, because you've been hammering on aggression and the lack thereof. You know what I mean? I've been thinking about you for the last week. I've been like, bro, the Cowboys better be aggressive, in my opinion. Keeping it real. It's on you, though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know about they gonna move up though. Y'all said up to 17. Woo-wee.
Yeah, just like they did with Julio Jones.
Yeah, because the assets they gotta give up. That's a lot.
How much?
That's what I'm saying.
Did you do the math?
Yeah, dog. That's what, 8 spots?
Yeah,
they gonna have to give up some stuff. You feel? I don't know if Stephen Jones is gonna be that aggressive. You feel me? I just don't see that.
Not him. And I don't think he will, but I think he should.
He probably. Hey, I don't disagree with y'all. We're talking about if you want a guy and you want to solidify that offensive line, because let's remember, we wanted to build that line for Romo, right?
Yep.
And once we built that line, look how much it changed the Cowboys, right? Yep. You remember when we finally put that line together, and it was that line. That's when everybody was, all the sports writers and everybody. What is the first thing that they was talk about when the Dallas Cowboys, when we built that offensive line? That Great Wall of China, that offensive line. They talked about that offensive line for a good 3 or 4 years, right? Because that's what it was dominant. So if we could get back to that, that'd be great. But to y'all's point, I'm going to ask OC, because he's the offensive lineman. You still don't think there would be a guy there at 26 that you would like and feel good about?
I'm gonna answer that question pretty quick. No, I don't. I think outside the premium tackles, no, I don't think you. They're not going all the way down to 26, big. No, Darnell Wright is not gonna fall, man. It's put it like this: anything can happen in the first round of the draft. there are runs on different positions, right? But I think that at the end of the day, man, you have Gronkowski out of Northwestern, you have Paris Johnson. They'll go 1 or 2 or 2-1, depending upon, which team likes the one the best. After that, it's clearly Broderick Jones. And after that, is right. So when those first 2 dominoes fall, and I've been saying this a while, when those first 2 dominoes fall, they're going to get Broderick Jones or Darnell Wright off the board, whoever they have rated as their, top 3rd tackle. And then the last premium pick, in my opinion, will be off the table shortly thereafter. And that's probably going to happen probably between 8 and 20. So you're going to have to go another 7, 8 picks and let the other premium offensive linemen survive with all the teams that need good offensive linemen. I just think it's unlikely, big. That's my opinion.
Hey, this is what I think. I can see them being aggressive, but it ain't going to be for offensive line. Y'all know who they're going to get aggressive for. And if he gets close enough, it's the only – and it ain't even for football reasons. But if he gets close enough, they'll move for him. Within 5 spots, they'll move for him. If he gets close enough. And I don't think that's right because I agree with all y'all points on the offensive line. I'm telling you, but can you see it?
I can see it, but I would hate it.
If he get close enough, if he get past Philly and he get to like 20, I can see them being like, hey man, we'll give up a pick for that. Just because I know, we halfway a team about what can this do for our marketing. No doubt. And if Bijan get close enough, they'll give a pickup for him. Because at the end of the day, it ain't like last year. We not about to have 6 rookies start. So they'll give up an asset to go get a player they feel like is going to change things. And I don't know if the smart move would be offensive line, but I don't think that that would be their move up target. I feel like it would be Bijan.
You heard that give Bijan them glowing reviews.
He did.
He did.
He gave glowing reviews about Bijan.
What?
Well, here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. They say that Bijan is like LaDainian Tomlinson. They say that he's like Saquon Barkley. If he's like those guys, then why? Imagine a world that LaDainian Tomlinson falls to the 26th spot. Imagine a world that Saquon Barkley falls to the 26th spot. So all of those things can be true, right? Somewhere there's a lie within the confines of people tape review. Now, granted, I know that people can do mock drafts or what have you and have him to the 26th spot, but logically, if he is one of those guys, LaDainian Tomlinson, I think he was drafted 5th overall, right? Even if he's Adrian Peterson, who was drafted 7th overall, I don't see him being in those type of tiers or what have you as running back. But if he falls to the 26th spot, then you scoop him up regardless of the situation. But are we overanalyzing the tackle / guard situation? What if, and I know that you guys did further homework on Anton Harrison. What if Anton Harrison is there at 26? And what if you get a developmental guy like Mafi and with the 90th pick?
I love
would
it.
That work with that? Would
Hell
you
yeah,
work
I would
with that?
love
Double
that.
dip? Would you double dip with this?
I would take that all day, especially if you're talking about both. Go ahead, OC. I'm pretty sure you had something on that.
No, man. I mean, no, I'm going to be short on this one just so you guys can get after it. No, I mean, I think that Anton Harrison is a great developmental pick because he got sweet feet. He has probably the best feet in the draft outside of Paris Johnson and from a tackle perspective, and he can be an elite pass protector. And so that's why you look at him if he's at 26. He could really be a lockdown pass protector because of the quickness of his feet. He's just got to clean up some things and he got to add some strength. And that's the thing I've said about him. Now, you could just go all out if you're the Cowboys and you could commit to guard. And if you commit to guard and you draft a pure guard, right? It's Moffitt there. You got my guy out of Florida there. You got, those would probably be my top 2 guys that, hey, you could go ahead and go all out and guard. So if you double dip there, I mean, it's going to just strengthen you. But that also means that somebody getting cut, probably Josh Ball. Go ahead.
He getting cut regardless.
Well, I will say
ain't nobody mad.
Yeah, probably so.
I love that combination.
Probably so.
I love that combination that you said, Law. I know some of y'all go cry when I say this, But I wouldn't even be mad that Matthew Bergeron at 26. I wouldn't.
Wait a minute. Now.
I wouldn't be mad.
Bergeron could be there at 58, though.
I know. But
yeah, he's a second
What
rounder.
about Steve Avila? Everybody was talking about him. Don't nobody talk about him now?
Nah, not after me.
Not at 26.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
No, I'm not talking at
like,
26. I'm saying if you could get him in the second round.
This is why I'm saying Matthew
I'll take him
Bergeron.
at 58.
This is why I'm saying Matthew Bergeron. And see, I don't want to get too caught up in where they're graded. I want to look at, are they the right player? You know what I mean? And he'll be likely one of the last maulers left for 26. Like, well, not last maulers, but one of the last tackle / guard, potential bottom of the first, top of the second, or mid of the second type guy. Once you get there, I ain't trying to hear nothing about no reach, because pretty much everybody by then gonna have some flaw anyway. We can break down Anton and say what's wrong with him because he ain't got the strength, right? We can break down Steve Avila. We can talk about that. He got the quickness in the feet, but he really is not a mauler. He don't really look like he's a finisher, right? So if we trying to get a guy that can be the closest to a Leary right now, if we did that, I'm just letting y'all know I wouldn't trip. I'd be like, cool.
Yeah, but look, if somebody like Drew Sanders is sitting on the board, you forcing? Are you leaving that on the board?
Drew Sanders,
man, he don't like Drew though.
Yeah,
he gonna. Rome, now you done open up some fire over here.
Hey, look,
my guy boss don't like Drew, man. I like Drew.
And Drew.
I like Drew. Hey. I just don't like Drew at 26. I like Drew.
What about Nolan Smith?
I like Nolan Smith.
He going before 26.
But if Nolan Smith on the board, you forcing O-line?
No, yeah. And let me tell you why. We went through this. No, hear me out. I'm gonna make the case. So you got some different things you can draft for the future. We talked about this, right? Or contention window. So if you get a Nolan Smith, my question is, what is gonna be rotational reps with him? Because likely he gonna be less than even what Sam Williams was last year. So I don't really see that moving us over the hump. As good as he is, I just don't see that being a hump pick. I think a hump pick would be, and then also what's likely gonna happen,
like Gibbs.
Well, Gibbs would be nice, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I really think gonna happen. This is what I really think gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I listen to Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones sound like he not moving up. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me go to the clip that's gonna show y'all that he is likely not moving up. Hold on real quick. I think receiver gonna be sitting right there. I really think we gonna be in line to get
my boy.
That we think
I'm telling you, there's going to be a pick at 26. There's going to be some picks at 26.
Yeah, I think it's going to be some
rule positions out, especially early. Like, for example, I know y'all are set at quarterback, but like if one of the highly vaunted quarterbacks fell all the way down to 26, do you make exceptions where you're like, we just don't need that? Or are you like, best player available is best player available?
Yeah, you don't ever rule anything out. And, certainly people may say, well, you didn't take that guy. I mean, we have, varying views, as all teams do, on the grades we put on the quarterback. Certainly you see and you read, with the mock drafts, and certainly, people in the media are guys with, personnel backgrounds, but not everybody looks at through the same lens. And certainly we're no different. We have certainly quarterbacks in this draft that are rated high. We certainly have some that are rated high that we don't have as high. So all that is, at the end of the day is how you perceive that particular player. But no, we would never just rule out a position in terms of getting a great player. If we had a high first round grade and he falls down to 26, certainly big time in play, if not a slam dunk that would happen. Usually when you're picking 26, I think typically we have, anywhere, around 15 to 16 players in our first round. Some years a few more. We'll see where we end up here. We're not finished yet, but, a guy with a first round grade down there at 26 is going to be blinking at us.
God dog, how many times he gonna say at 26? That sound like he ain't moving up. He said 26 like 80 times. We're at 26, somebody sitting there, come down to us to 26. If we got somebody blinking at 26, yeah, when you got the right player, I'm like, God, we ain't moving up. We ain't moving.
What was their reason when they drafted, was it Frederick? Did they move back, or was it Zach Martin? Was it Frederick, right, when they moved back, right? What was the explanation they gave? Do y'all remember?
I remember the thing with Frederick. I remember them saying that they felt like they had to get Frederick because they got wiped out. I remember that. They got wiped out, and they was like, we got to get him because we need center, and we need to go ahead and get him. And they got him to the point to where he even said that he was a reach. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, I don't care about where people are graded. In my opinion, it's more so, do you think this is your guy? And I think a Matthew Bergeron could be your guy to go inside and play left guard way better than he could play left tackle. You know what I'm saying? But I would trust his mentality to play inside from what I saw on tape. That's just me. But then also, if Matthew Bergeron's sitting there, I'd be cool with moving down because I think you could get him later. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on that.
You already said it, boss. They gonna go get Johnston. I'm telling you.
You think so?
Quentin Johnston.
No
I
question.
think so too. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a receiver. Yeah, the tea leaves are lining
He gonna
up.
fit too.
He gonna fit.
Too.
I'd be cool with it. Yeah. That one, I don't know why people don't like Johnson. Like, what's up?
That's exactly why he gonna be there.
I like Johnson a lot.
I like so I'm like, what Johnson do?
I like him a lot. Or Zay Flowers. If Zay Flowers is there.
Yeah, I'm almost certain one of them receivers gonna be there.
He got a little hype. He gonna be gone probably.
See, because I think the run on tackles is gonna push down in receivers. I'm almost certain that's gonna happen. Yeah, I think
Gibbs and Bijan will go. The tackles will go, and Quentin Johnston will be right there for us.
Yep.
Everybody gonna be.
You think two running backs going in the first round, Ron?
I feel like Gibbs will go because Gibbs got quietly just as much hype as Bijan. It's just ain't the other side.
I can see that.
And he got that Alabama pedigree, man. That Alabama pedigree, man, goes for a lot.
I think Gibbs goes early second. I'm saying early second. I don't think he's going to.
You know who I think will take Gibbs? Somebody like the Chargers. Chargers messing around, take Gibbs.
I can see that.
Give Kellen more toys.
Yep. I can see that.
I see the Giants drafting a running back. I see the Giants flat out drafting a running back because I think Saquon.
That'd be dirty.
Yeah, they are. Saquon ain't signing that $10 million franchise tag. He's not signing that.
Why not? Why he ain't gonna sign it? He gonna get fined.
He's free.
He gonna sign it. Yes, he will.
He can't get fined.
Don't tell me he's not gonna sign it. Yes, he is going to sign it. They all sign it. Tell me who ain't never signed that franchise.
Aaron, I think they tried to do Aaron Donald, right? They tried to squeeze Aaron Donald. He waited and sat out the whole
1 out of 800.
Yeah.
They all are signing, or they getting fined, or it's getting rescinded. They signing that tag.
I got to piss in y'all yogurt now. You hope y'all ready for this.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you know I got me some Fort juice. Y'all already know, bro.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't be being myself.
Come on, man. I'm over here sipping Kool-Aid. Here you go.
I'm sorry, bro. We got some Fort juice.
Oh, my God.
We do. I know you hate that noise. Law be always looking at it. I know, bro, but I got to give y'all the Fort juice, bro, unfortunately.
What's available when you pick and what you'd like to see there. So, as I said, you just don't see a lot of those guys who do both. It's rare.
Talk with Stephen Jones, and we've talked with you a lot in the past about how involved you are in the cap and everything, and I've always been fascinated by that. Is it logical to assume that you have to kind of track like what just happened with Jalen Hurts and his deal and maybe Burrow and Herbert? Is it just logical that you have to track those kind of deals because they might impact future talks with Dak?
Absolutely. I mean, that's true at any position. I mean, you're always very cognizant, of what people are being paid in our league, and especially at the top when you have guys not only like Dak, but you have players like CeeDee Lamb and Diggs. Certainly we were going through that situation with Donovan Wilson as a safety when we were trying to get him signed. You really want to keep up, with what guys are making out, what they get paid out there. And certainly in a salary cap era, you understand where those numbers are, and you got to make those type of decisions. Certainly, we made a decision with Tony Pollard not to expose him and pay him the franchise tag. There's a lot of thought that goes into that. Certainly think the world of Tony, and at some point would like to hope that we could get him signed to a long-term deal. But all those are things that are on our radar.
Well, we appreciate the time very much. And
all right, so the reason
big
why
psych, you ain't signing no long-term deal.
And then obviously the reason why I call that fart is because he's saying he keeping an eye on Jalen Hurts. Like, who didn't know Jalen Hurts was coming? Everybody and their mama knew that he was coming. You know what I mean? And you jacked up Dak Prescott's price.
It was $35,000. $35,000 cash money. No, I get $35,000 plus one, right? The one I gave. No, you gave me six, though, right? It was one. I had one. It was six, and it's $35,000 plus one plus six leaves seven. $35,000 and seven, right? Fucker, can you buy that?
Can you buy that?
That's classic. See, that's classic. So you got to be of a certain age to know what that is. Yeah, man. So, that's why you my boy Big. Yeah. So like, so that's the he mentioned two things. He mentioned Tony Pollard, and then he also mentioned Dak. So Tony Pollard, especially looking at where the running back market is, we can all honestly say in hindsight that's a ball drop. And then looking at how the price just went up on Dak because he let Hurts get in front of him. It's just, that's the only thing about the interview that just kind of had me like, what's your
and that's the second time, man. That's the second time because that happened with Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Remember, they was going back and forth.
Exactly.
And then when those two boys got their bag, we were like, that got to get north of what those two got.
Right.
And when you think about it, the Eagles were very smart. I know we got a few Cowboy fans that don't want to hear this, but they were very smart with this to jump in front of
Dak.
Joe Burrow.
And Burrow, right.
Because here's the reason why. Think about it. Hurts only got this one good season with how many yards? 3,000 yards, 22 to 23 touchdowns. Yeah. I'm not counting the running touchdowns, by the way. But you got to look at all of that. And Joe Burrow count, they can look at it like, nah, we got more than 1 year. You know what I'm saying? We got multiple years that you can stand upon and look at far as from a stat aspect of it. Plus, our quarterback took their team to the Super Bowl and lost two, So that bag was going to be super big for Joe Burrow. So the Eagles did right for going ahead and paying his brother. The only thing that I can say that Hurts won at far as the overall contract all the way was being the no trade clause, right? That's the only thing that we can look back at and say, all right, hey, if Hurts laid an egg over there like like the Eagles tend to do, then it could be a situation that they can't get rid of Jalen Hurts because we're gonna say point to it where it hurts. But collectively, the Eagles in the next 2 years, he's only going to count $5 million against the cap, and he is so far the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
Ain't that crazy?
That's a money trick, though, Law. I've been researching that for a
break it down.
That's a money trick. And I'll send you the stuff that I
but they paid him more bonus.
It's this magical word called cash flow, and that's what I'm trying to get the breakdown on. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's the signing bonus money. It's upfront money. It's what your owner's willing to pay for out of pocket. It's all contingent upon the owner. It ain't got nothing to do with the cap. Because if the owner's it's all about how much faith the owner has in the quarterback. Jeffrey Lurie just pretty much said, I got complete faith in Jalen Hurts. I'm willing. What the cap hit says $6 million. But his new money over the next 2 years is like $60 to $70 million.
Jesus.
So he's going to get, it's kind of like, it's all about perception. This is best way I could put it. If the media loves you, when your deal hits, they're going to report he's only $6 million against the cap, and out the side of their neck they're going to say, but he's the highest paid player in NFL history, which doesn't make logical sense. But when Dak Prescott got his deal 2 years ago, and they gave him $75 million up front, they reported on that to make it look like a negative, to say, the Cowboys cap is ruined. When in all actuality, if you go back and look at that deal, his cap hit was $19 million, but the media didn't want to talk about that.
Right.
Oh, man, you breaking it down.
That's fact.
Oh, no, I've been researching it all day. I got a video coming. I got
plug.
Dak Prescott's cap
Good plug. Good plug.
Great plug.
$19 million, I believe. Jalen Hurts' cap hit is only $6 million, but they're leaving out all of that extra money he about to get up front. They don't want to talk about that because it doesn't make it look like Howie Roseman is a wizard because he got friends in the media. The media don't love the Cowboys unless it's negative because it's good for business. So it's fun to say Dak Prescott's first check is $75 million in 1 year. What are they going to do? But when you go back and look at that actual deal, it was $19 million against the cap, and it would have been lower if we weren't 2 years late to the market.
Yo.
Well, here's something else, Rome, that you.
That's why I had to hit the.
Well, what I was going to say just real quick, boss, is that here's something else that will even make the video better that you're about to drop, Rome, is that the Eagles are on the hook for $126.4 million to pay Jalen Hurts between now and next April.
Yeah.
So that's how much money he's going to make in less than a full calendar year with this new deal. So think about that in terms of commitment.
Yeah,
that's more than Dak Prescott's guaranteed money. He's making more than Dak Prescott's guaranteed money in less than 1 calendar year with his new deal.
Let me drop this bomb on y'all that I heard earlier. And I'll send y'all this clip I heard. There was a guy breaking down the potential deal. They said what happened with Jalen Hurts is, you know how Dak Prescott will get a deal and then 2-3 years in, they'll say, let's restructure to free up some money.
Yep.
Pretty standard practice. They said that the groundbreaking thing that Howie Roseman seems to have done, which isn't the first person, which is they restructured this deal at first. So the cap hits that you see there are so low is as if they restructured this deal 2 years from now. So they preemptively restructured the first 4 years. And that's why that cap hit looks bananas the 5th year, because they restructured his deal preemptively. So there won't be any moves to make. They've already done it in advance. If that makes sense. There's no safety valve. They've already pulled it.
Now, is that more of Howie or is that the team of Jalen Hurts?
That's Jeffrey Lurie being willing to pay that money.
You got to give shots out. Let's give shots out to Nicole, man. You know, I love it when our sisters get together. You know the agency, they get out there. Hey, salute to the sister that came out there. She probably came in there with some stilettos and messed up them all the way. You know what I'm saying? They said, we're going to go ahead and sign this deal. You better watch out, Jerry. You better watch out for Nicole, because if they fool around and represent a player from over here, he in trouble. Jerry, you in trouble.
Man.
Yeah, but it's not a bad deal. I just want to make that clear.
It's a great deal. That's why I hit that fart noise.
It's not a bad deal.
I know y'all hate the noise, but when you think about how we let them get in front of us and we raised our own price and they showed all kind of faith in him, this made me think of what Big said, bro. Big, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't feeling you at first when you were talking about they don't believe in Dak Prescott, but bro, I think it's starting to get yeah, bro. I'm finally starting to come around, bro. It took me some years. Sometimes it take people a while, but bro,
yeah, it took you a lot of years.
Yeah,
like
but
at least 2.5.
Because I was like, how can you be that stupid? That's what I was thinking. I was like, no, wait at that. But
hey,
this show it. When you let Hurts get in front of you,
listen, I mean, think about it. Think about it, boss. You just said Hurts got in front of you, but look how long they look how they did when Zeke got his money, Jalen Smith got his money, all those guys got the money. Right? Dak had to wait. And that's your guy. That's your quarterback.
That's your guy,
and he has to wait behind Jalen Smith.
What?
Are we serious? You feel what I'm saying? Man, and then you always hear Stephen Jones always questioning things with Dak. It's like he double talks, like, "Oh, Dak is our guy. We believe." But then I hear little things and be like, something. I heard him in an interview, and we did a show, and it was like, we love Dak Prescott, and we think he's going to. I always be hearing him say, "We think." And why does he always slow foot? He's slow footing on this extension. Jalen Hurts got his money. You knew he was going to get paid, right? You see Lamar Jackson in the cut. You see the Joe Burrows. You see they're getting ready to come up. Why are you waiting then? What are you waiting for? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And he keeps on waiting with Dak. I'm telling you, just me, I don't think he fully believes on it. And if he did, he would jump right to it. He jumped right to it with Romo. Did they make Romo wait? I hate to bring him up, but it just feels like they didn't make him wait forever. They didn't make him wait behind some Marion Barber or somebody like that to get paid. They was like, you are a guy, we're going to pay you. He played half a season, and they said, boom, we're going to give you an extension from you getting undrafted. It's just, I'm telling you, just from me, especially Stephen Jones, I don't feel like he's on Dak all like that.
I think that what's happening is two things can be true. I don't think that they believe in him neither. But Stephen Jones is all about value. And he knows that window open because the conference is weak. And he ain't got enough kahunas. I was about to say something else. He ain't got enough kahunas to move off Dak in this climate. If we was in the AFC, they would have moved.
Oh my God.
Because I don't think they believe in him fully. But he's like,
goofy.
It's kind of like hedging your bets. He's like, I'm gonna hold on to him because I don't want to start over right now.
Right. Them boys next year.
Just look at this year. Look at this year, fellas. If Stephen Jones could take this year and sit on it just so he could see this year and see how it unfolded with them going all in and having everybody so he could look at Dak, I think he would love to be able to do that so he could sit this whole year and wait to not pay him and so he could see how this year unfolded. And if it didn't turn out the way he wanted, you don't think that he would have a serious thought of saying, Dak only got really another year on his deal. We can go ahead and let him walk and start looking at a quarterback.
You know why he can't do that big? Because Dak Prescott's restructure is the key to paying CeeDee Lamb.
Man, hold on.
Right.
Boy, that boy deep with it.
You getting ahead of me, though. You getting ahead of me, bro. But I love it. But before we go there, because that's next, we get ready to talk about that, bro. Good job, bro.
I know.
Well, here's a caveat here, and this is something that we hadn't discussed, which Rome was about to get into, and I may jump ahead a little bit here too. I've said that Dak Prescott is not their boy. He's not like their guy. He was never really their guy. He was always an afterthought. Well, number one. Number two, with this transition of the APY of Hurts being $51 million, Dak is now tied for number 7 highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Down there with Daniel Jones, who he's better than. Down there with Goff, that plays in Detroit. All right, $40 million per year. Right. And listen, guys that are paid more than him. There are several guys that are paid more than Dak Prescott that he's better than APY. And something else that we had mentioned, it's not just Lamar Jackson. It's not just Joe Burrow. Now you have the pending doom of the massive contract of a Justin Herbert coming up as well. So they're going to pay Justin Herbert. And listen, Kellen Moore is going to make him throw it 50 times a game. So he's going to have all kind of stats this year. But the mistake that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones is making with this whole thing is that Mike McCarthy is having an all-in year offensively, and Dak is going to play bananas. He's going to put so much numbers up on the board that he's going to be closer to 60 by the end of this season. And they're going to have to pay that man. Go ahead, boss.
I just want to say one thing going back to what Rome was saying, man. Because that was real big what Rome said, where he was talking about CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs. So this is the deal. And Rome, I'm gonna push it right back on you because you're the one that raised that point. And I said this the other day. The Dallas Cowboys, they keep paying their light bill before they pay their mortgage. Like all of us know, Rome start laughing. All of us know if you got a choice, you pay your mortgage first. See, they already made this mistake. Stephen Jones already came out and said his biggest mistake all time was not paying Dak Prescott the first time. So how do you do it once where it costs you around 60 to 70 million dollars and do the same mistake again unless you don't believe in them? Just keeping it real. Like, cause let's just go through the math. Dak should have been signed for around 28 million. He ended up getting signed for around 40 million. Obviously, I'm talking about APY. If you do it on a 4-year contract, that's a 12-year difference per year. So 12 times 4 is 48 million. When you add that 48 million in differences of APY, average per year, plus you add in a tag that they paid him, that's $70 million. So sometimes when we say they can't pay everybody, they can't pay everybody when you keep running up your price. You know what I'm saying? It's y'all. And this is what's pissing me off. Y'all run up your own price, then you say it's only so much pie. See, that's what killed me when Rome came out and was like, and they talking about they want to pay CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs. No, pay the guy that's going to ease up your cap. Pay your mortgage.
And
Boss Cowboy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Law.
No, I was gonna say this is a philosophy that's in the core of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I seen the all-time rushing leader, Emmitt
Facts.
Smith. They hosed him the same way.
Facts.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Touchdown himself, Desmond Bryant. They hosed him himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
How
hosed themselves.
they put the franchise tag on him, right? And then they rescinded. Of course, they paid him. So of course you can put the tag on him, and then you can pay him, what have you. But they ultimately made that dude go through that stretch of uncertainty, right? And starting to lash out and things like that. So they end up giving him the money in 2015, which they didn't want to give it to him technically after the 14 season.
Right.
And when we start looking at it, what they did with D-Law, this is how the Cowboys operate. And it's crass in my opinion, right? On how they do those things. But
they was okay with D-Law though.
They did it twice with D-Law, yeah, but they drove up the price and they reached for a draft pick so that they can replace. I say this all the time. My guy Boss Cowboy brought up a great point. He's saying that the Cowboys literally, they don't draft to compliment, they draft to replace.
Yep.
And they actually did that because Tank Law, he all of a sudden exploded that year when Taco Charlton got drafted.
Right.
So here's another thing that a lot of people are not really
do it
looking
again.
into.
Doing
it again with Terrence Steele.
Oh.
Come on.
He said, you ain't no Khalil Mack. He said, you ain't no Khalil Mack.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So now they saying Terrence Steele, he probably not even La'el Collins. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're saying now. They don't want to pay Terrence Steele. Let me know if I'm lying.
Oh man, wrong.
No, you telling the truth on that, Law.
Hold on,
and they
let me go back to. Go ahead, OC. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna be super quick and then kick it to Rome. So here's the thing, man. This is the epiphany, right? This is just like an old movie called Trading Places. Remember that movie with Eddie Murphy where he traded places and got access to millions of dollars? Then one of the guys they brought up in the firm, they kicked out, and they had $1 million bet about who would thrive and who would survive.
$1.
Oh, it was a dollar.
Right.
Bet.
I'm sorry, $1. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was a $1 bet, right? This is an old bet of trading places. I think in the Jones household, they keep on betting against Dak Prescott. So they bet against him on his rookie contract when they subbed everybody out and let him have to win that New York Giants game with no tackles, no running back, no nothing. He won that game. They bet against Dak Prescott again the year before. The year before they had to pay him by just basically doing this. Well, no, before that, doing the wide receiver by committee. Then they were the laughing stock of the NFL, and then they brought in Amari Cooper. Then they took away Amari Cooper, betting against him again. And so now they're betting against Dak Prescott again on a proven year with Mike McCarthy, and it's just a bad bet, and they keep losing, and they go continue to lose. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Ron.
Man, Jesus, man.
I
God, dog, we
want
need
to
to clip that segment.
I want to ask a question though. If they extend Dak, right, or give him an extension, does that keep him with his original deal, or does that change his contract?
It's new money.
Because it's new money. Now, does his no trade clause go away if he does an extension?
No.
He gonna keep that trade clause.
Keeping that no trade clause.
Goes into a new deal.
if they don't offer that no trade clause, he'll play out this contract and leave. He not giving them that. He not giving them that no trade clause.
And also he got a rule.
He
got a rule on his contract with no franchise tag too.
My partner say right here, he say Dak letting it go up. No, he not. Because let me tell you why he not doing that. It's never on them bars. Dak is first letting his agent doing. Because I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do y'all want to get paid today or do y'all want to get paid next week from your job?
Today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it ain't no. These boys ain't sitting back like, pay me later. I'm going to try to see if the market go up. No, I want my money now. You know what I'm saying?
Any way possible, Dak and France coming a little bit under market.
No, ain't no way.
So?
It could. They could.
Cowboys, hell no.
Hold on. Let me. They could, but
France
if they do,
I'm not talking about like drafting. I'm talking about like
a little bit.
49 million. I'm straight. Let me. Like, is it possible?
I'm gonna tell you why I think it's impossible. The only way it would be possible would be Dak, but with agents, the way that they recruit new talent, in my opinion. Well, not my opinion. This is how it works. The way that they recruit new talent is being able to get that market-setting headline. So, like Todd Fresness, in my opinion, would look like a pure fool. A pure fool. If you are the agent of Dak Prescott, right? And this is why. If you come in team friendly and you the agent of Dak Prescott, and I'm another agent, I'm gonna kill you. Like in terms of if I'm battling for a client, right? I'm gonna say they couldn't even get Dak paid. What you mean? Why?
But he got be paid. That's my only reason I'm saying.
This is what I mean by that. It's more so how much money the Cowboys are getting from Dak. See, we always talk about he got to take us to an NFC championship and all that kind of stuff. It's not about that when it comes to them agents. Them agents go in there and say how many endorsement dollars you getting, how many jersey sales you getting.
They go look at would he come in a little bit under because of the machine that is Dak Prescott.
Yeah, the agent ain't gonna do it. I wouldn't do it. If I'm the agent, I'm like, bro, because I gotta recruit new talent. I'm not gonna go out here and say I was friendly to you.
Micah? Don't Ty got Micah?
What you mean?
Michael Park.
No,
he Michael signed on the CAA.
He's
signed on the CAA.
Because Bijan and Micah have the same agent.
Oh, okay.
But here's the truth of it. These owners don't like two things. They don't like three things actually. They don't like what the Cleveland Browns done did, drive up the price. They don't like that. They don't like players representing themselves like Lamar Jackson done. That's against code, right? And the agent themselves, they got codes that they got to live by. They can't just go up in there and go below market value. Just like if somebody in his house in his neighborhood, sell their house below market value, everybody in the neighborhood gonna be looking at them like, hey, what's going on? Then they will intercede and say, hey, we'll buy it for you. You know what I'm saying? Before you sell it at that low of a price. So it's always codes into this thing. And I believe that Dak Prescott is gonna get paid whatever the market value is. He's not going to take lower.
Real
quick. Think Jones is going to try and undercut him because of like
they always trying to undercut. They always trying to undercut. They do that with every. Hey, but real quick, we got to take a light break. Everybody likes down. We got to get them lights up. Like let's take a quick.
I'm trying to throw that bomb out there.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's take hit that like button, man.
Yeah, let's take a just quick second to hit that like button.
Shame.
We'll give y'all a second to get them likes caught up.
Shame.
Likes way down. Yeah.
Y'all hit that like button, man.
Now, if I was Dak, I probably would be team friendly though. I would.
Yeah, I would too.
For my own championship, like because
I ain't doing that.
But let me tell you,
because
I'm not doing it.
Like you don't believe in me. If you don't believe in me, why the hell I'm gonna take a team friendly deal? Give me my money. Give me my money. Because you don't believe in me. And guess what? Dak ain't friendly with them Joneses. Dak don't kick it with them Joneses. He don't rock with them. He don't go traveling. He don't rock with them. So you think if he went through all that to get that type of contract, now I'm gonna come team friendly? Hell to the no.
What if it's like a little bit team friendly? Just $5 million or something?
They wanted to be just $1 million. That's how silly they are.
For that being said, my guy, Ro, when they were paying Dak Prescott, when Rico Gathers was getting more money than Dak Prescott.
Oh my God!
Did they go out there? Did they go out there and added players for him? Did they go out there and do anything? They literally said that we don't need the Honey Badger. We got Xavier Woods, who's gonna be the next Honey Badger. You know, and Honey Badger tweeted out back at them. He said, "Even with my 2 reconstructed knees, I'm better than any DB on your team."
Hey, thank you for Regina said she hit the like on all of our channels. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Regina.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Regina, that's dope. I think you right, Law. You 100% right. More than likely, if he came in team friendly, that money just going in Micah's pocket at some point. Like it ain't going to no new players.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Right.
I hate to say, like, not that your point is bad. I'm just saying, like, you know the team in and out, and you're right. They're not gonna do what I would want them to do with the money. So I guess it's pointless.
All right, so let's get into our final words. I'll kick it off. We're about a week away from the draft. My book is finished. I'm putting the final touches on it right now. Y'all give me a hand.
Oh yeah, I got you, dog.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you. This book mean a lot to me too, y'all. It does. This is my last book. It mean a lot to me. Because I'm gonna be honest, man. This book started me off on my road to really meeting some of the best. You know what I mean? It started out with Big. Big kicked me off every year. Every year I do a show with Big. Every year I release the book. The first person I do a show with every year is my boy Big. Every year. But then Big, the first time I released the book, he said, introduce me to Sky. And he was like, hey, he might want to talk to you about the book. And then Big, the first time I did a show with you, Law, was because of the book. First time we did a show was because of the book. And then we did our show, and you said, I know this dude named Botch. He might want to hear about this book. See, I didn't even really do shows with y'all until I first wrote the book. So when I look at how all the relationships that formed, it's not just the book, it's the relationships that formed. You know what I'm saying? From it. You know? And and I'm just thinking about like, damn. Like how everything took off because the community got behind the book. It wasn't that they bought it, they just wanted to hear about it. They was like, you wrote a book? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my final words is thank y'all, man. Thank you, Rome. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously me and Rome starting to do more and more content. You know, thank you, OC, man, and for being my co-host. But it's so much work that go into this, and I'm excited about this one being my last one. I'm gonna open it up to the public to tear it apart before I actually fully release it all the way out there. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna do a show that my boy Law said, name it Want the Smoke. So you gonna be able to come in and debate it and get my book right. Because I'm not trying to be right. I want it to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? So my final words is thank y'all. The whole community, everybody. My boy Law, my boy Big, my boy OC, my boy Rome, my boy J Tuck, my boy DMV, Sky, you know, everybody that I did a tour with about this, bro. So it's gonna be on Amazon, and obviously I'm gonna advertise it when it come out, but my final words really didn't have to do with this show. It more so had to do with the appreciation I have for y'all and everybody that supported the books over the years. And obviously I ain't been 100% right on everything. If you think you could be right on 100% of your predictions, write a book. You gonna see you not gonna be right on 100%. But I just want to put that out there because it's sentimental to me. It's my baby at this point. It's my baby. I take this serious. So my final word is, man, thank y'all, man.
Man, we appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. And so listen, the Dallas Cowboys, man, are in prime position to do exactly what they do best, in my opinion, which is draft. So we all excited in anticipation to see exactly what the Cowboys are going to do. I think that the move would be a hybrid offensive lineman if he's there. If not, then just continue to weapon up and let's push this offense as far as we can get it. I think that also, don't forget, guys, because a lot of times we always make scraggler moves after the draft, right? That still fill out the roster. So we still have that in the bag as well. So I'm excited to see what happens in this coming week with this draft, man, what the Cowboys do with the first pick in particular. And hey, man, we are still running for 6. And thank all you guys for the support. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share button when you go out the building tonight, and salute.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to just take time to say thank you to Boss. Me and Boss had a conversation recently offline, almost 2-hour conversation.
Yep.
And you on your way, bro. You already phenomenal at what you do. But I want to say this about the book, man. The book isn't just for this year's draft. It's so many times I've heard Boss reference his old books, his old thoughts and things like that. It's a timeless piece because you can always go back and reference it. So don't overlook it thinking, well, the draft is so close. Look at it as something that's it's almost like
it's history,
like a thesaurus.
Yeah.
You can keep referencing.
Right. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I listen, I always hear in your show go back to old thoughts, and I'm like, that's why that's valuable. You know, curse always comes to mind, but I don't want to derail the show.
Appreciate it.
I wanted to say, you know what I'm saying, thank you to Boss, and I appreciate you fellas, man. Y'all really, really do y'all thing, and when y'all bring me on, I appreciate it because, you know, sometimes I underestimate my thoughts in this, and I feel like I feel validated when I get a chance to speak with the real minds in Cowboys Nation, and I just want to say thank you to y'all too, and thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. As far as with the team, I want to load the banana clip. I don't want to play with it.
Yo, let me hit a button.
I don't want to play with it. I know I sound childish. I sound like a homer. I sound like Kool-Aid man. Go get me my
ring.
Kool-Aid.
I don't care. You know me. Look, go get me my weapon. I don't care who. Bijan, Gibbs, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers. I don't care. Go get another weapon. Because at the end of the day, I just want to look unstoppable. And if it's a defensive weapon, that's fine too.
Yep.
I just want to look unstoppable. It don't even matter. I don't want to play with it. And I know an offensive lineman can do that. But it is what it is. I want to load that clip.
I love it.
That's my final word.
My final word is salute the Boss. Because you know what? It's real good when you're on Twitter and we talk about a player and 100 people don't talk about him, and then one person mentions him, and then next thing you know, the next day everybody's talking about this same player. It's not authentic to me. Okay. And when I see people, these draft experts, and 1 minute you change and the next minute this is the hot guy, and the next minute that's the hot guy. But when you write a book, that's putting your chest, that's putting your reputation, putting your chest, that's putting everything on the line.
That's real.
Because see, it sounds all good when you talk about it, but you can switch.
You
can switch tomorrow and say,
I
knew that player. He was getting drafted. You can switch. But when you got a book, it's right there in writing. You can go back and read it. You can go back and really factual say it. And you putting your stuff on the line because it's written down. They can always go back and reference it. People who ain't writing books, you can't reference nothing that they saying. So they can say they're a draft expert all they want to, but they ain't putting nothing in writing. So I got mad respect for people who write down a book because they're putting their chest and their reputation on the line, because tons of people are going to dissect it, say stuff about it, whatever. But you are holding true. So I got mad respect for you writing a book like you've been doing each year, boss. So salutes to you, because, you know, it's just more validated to me when you put it in writing. So salutes to you with that.
Thank you, bro.
And to bounce off Rome, y'all already know, well, I'm not Kool-Aid guy. Okay, I ain't gonna be Kool-Aid guy. But let's go ahead and we're going to kill the draft like we always do. You know what it is. We're going to kill the draft and the after draft. But to me, it's time to get this 6, dog. I mean, it's right here. You know what I'm saying? It's time, and I ain't worried about no regular season. I'm like Jim Moore. Playoffs? That's what I'm talking about. The only thing I'm talking about is playoffs. That's my final word.
Man, say, man, hold on.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big game, James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Man, first and foremost, man, shout out to BossCowboySports, man, and the OC for all that you guys do for the community. And my mom always said, and my father, he said, measure man not by his words, but by his actions, right? And as I grew older, I realized they pulled that from a book. So I know that there's something that someone will be able to pull from your book. And speaking of that, what I want to do from the bottom of my heart, I want to buy 7 of them, and we're going to give them out to the nation, because 7 is completion, right? And since this is your last season doing the book, which I don't want you to be the last season for doing the book, man. But if we win the Super Bowl and you got doggone stop doing that book, I'm coming for you, boss. I'm coming for you. I said, hey, he's the reason why, you know. But neither here nor there, man. Hey, boss, man, continue to do your thing, man. Continue to be the voice for the voiceless, right? What's your saying over there? Your voice matters, right? Your voice matters, and that's what I like to expound upon with your content. You give it from a different angle, right? And it may have some shades of conspiracy, but I love it because it opens you up to a whole nother philosophy and a thought track. When you said, dog, when I look at this thing, I go black. I said, man, what do this dude mean when he's talking about going black? This man must be out of his mind. But no, boss will find a heel, and he will stand on it because he trusts his eyes. He don't listen to the 4-letter, the 3-letter network, or what's popular. He will go left when they say go right. He'll go right when they say go left. So, hey, when you did your own homework and you can stand on it and refuse to move from it, from the aspect of knowing that you know, but also have the mindset to, hey, I will change my thoughts if you provide the evidence. But don't give me the wee-woo, right? So you always said the wee-woo before the wee-woo drop. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I really, really, really appreciate you, man. Even when I'm down, you know. You the guy that would sit and pray with a brother, right? You a guy, you in the OC, man, would sit down and pray with a brother. I was at my lowest of the lowest, y'all. I picked up the phone, I called Boss, and he was like, man, let me pray for you, man. Don't y'all know that's deeper. That's deeper than anything. He was one of the first people to congratulate me, man, before I even got to 100K, because he said, man, I motivated him. Don't y'all know what that do for me? You know what I'm saying?
That's facts too.
We going through some real life stuff. And a lot of people don't know the reason why somebody do something, right? So what BossCowboySports, as well as Big Game James, as well as my guy, the OC, and Rome, man, I really appreciate y'all, man, for helping me out. Because y'all may say, man, Law, you grinding, you always grinding. But don't nobody know the why. And it's not for the fame. It's not for the fortune. God had blessed me abundantly, baby. If I show you my check, you be like, yeah, God blessing you. So I'm not out here doing it for the fame. And I'm not out here trying to do it for the views. For anybody who says that, they must don't know me. And y'all would know. My mom, when I was at 6,000 to 7,000 views, right? 7,000 subscribers. And I was saying, baby, I don't have to do this. I don't have to talk about the Cowboys. And she said, son, keep going, keep pushing. And y'all don't know, man. My mama's got cancer.
Oh damn.
And she said, continue to go. I want you to continue to do your goal. So the 100,000 was for her, not for anybody out there for the views. So if anybody say I'm doing it for the fame or doing it for the fortune or I'm doing it for the views, they don't know Law. They don't know her. They don't know who I am. And that's why I continue to grind. Not for the fame, not for the fortune. God has already blessed me abundantly. That's been my time.
Man, say,
That's
bro,
what's
this
up.
dude got, man, I can't even handle
Y'all
it
don't
no
know,
more,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
3, 2, 1, drop it. And remember,
Thank you, Law.
you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
My boy said flashiness is why Dallas still chasing 6. I knew why you was going after that 100K, Law. And thank you for achieving it. For us and your mom.
That's for
That was
mom,
powerful,
man.
man.
For your
Yeah.
mom. And I knew you always was grinding for it. I always knew, because I remember that story. I didn't mean to get back into it, because that was the final word, but that was just a moment. I'm over here wiping my eyes, bro. I don't even want to show it.
Nah, that's real. That was
I'm
real.
over wiping my eyes, bro.
Hey, shoot,
Real talk. I'm over here trying to get it together. But hey, man, I really appreciate everybody, man. We out. Much love. We got the draft show coming Thursday. It's gonna be the last one until we go into another season. And we gonna be back next week, man. Much love.
Go. Appreciate y'all, man. One love.
Appreciate you, dog.
We all y'all.
Real.
Ron, we gotta get you back though, bro.
Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just